Hello one and all, and welcome to the Havoc levels. These next 5 days are going to be the ultimate test of our mettle as Lemmings aficionados. And as Havoc levels go, the first one is not really that hard. It just contains one really nasty part that you aren't really expecting, especially if you just kind of skip straight to these and you don't know what to expect. First things first, we're going to use this first take for experimentation to show you just exactly where this nasty part in question is. We get to make a standard blocker trap because we can save enough lemmings by making 2 blockers that it doesn't really matter. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and build from here. We want to make our blocker trap, of course, wide enough that we can start from the left side and get out no matter what. But we're just going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead, forge our way through. Okay, and we want to make sure, let's see. Oh, I hope I didn't. Okay, good. Oh, wow, that just barely worked out. Now what we're going to do is we're going to dig down. We're going to dig down right at the edge here. Let's see, and then we're going to build across. We're going to bash, build across, bash. You can make a pretty standard tunnel through here. You'll see what it looks like in a minute. Well, I was fortunate enough to not have to bash for that. I just went right over the hump and built up here. And now I'm going to dig and I'm going to bash out to the right. I think I'll try to replicate that next time as well. There we go, but here we go. Here's the really sucky part right here. Is you go ahead, you're making this wonderful path, and you bash through, and then you think you're on your way to safety to build over this pit right here, and then you get squished by an icicle, completely hidden from view in the steel. So we're going to want to build from about right here in order to avoid that. Lesson having been learned, let's go ahead and do it upright. Alright, so I think we're going to want to go from about right here. As soon as we... Yeah, this looks like a good spot right here. He'll hit his head, he'll build a few steps, he'll turn around, everything will work out. Yeah, he went right over. It's right in between those little rivets right there. So once he gets past safely and starts building the exit, we'll go back and we'll build the other guys out of their blocker trap, because as you see, we don't have any bombers, so that's the major problem with that. So he goes ahead, we go ahead and we let him bash to end it early because we have more than enough digging tasks. And then we start from the left side of our blocker trap. That should get them right out of there safely. In fact, it may even just take one bridge. It might be the length of the bridge there. Wow, that could not have worked out any more perfectly. That's nice width for a blocker trap there, especially if you need to build out of it. So I guess we're going to have to nuke them to end this today. Or at least this level. We're not stopping right here by any means. We're just getting started. We're going to do these Havoc levels, and we are going to power through them because they are lots of fun. They are easily the most ingeniously designed levels in the whole game. But we got more than enough to the exit there. We got, I think, 97% when we needed 95. So we actually went over the requirement, which is an auspicious start. 97%. Yeah. That is an auspicious start to our Havocing. So let's go ahead, nuke these guys, be done with it, and move on to level 2. I feel accomplished already. Let me just go on record and say I am a huge fan of this level. It is very ingenious the way it works out. First of all, we want to get building out of here. We only want to build one bridge, of course. We're going to start, I guess, from about right here. Should be good. Another guy is going to climb. Number 2 right here, he's going to climb. He's also going to float. And now we have to get everybody down and around without splatting. This level is divided into 2 distinct halves. The first half being the one with all the challenge, and the second half basically just being the one where you build out to this block right here and then get them up to safety there. What we're going to do here, he's going to become a floater. I'm going to go ahead and make him float now, unlike at the bottom of a drop like I usually do, because I want to do this upright. What we want him to do is we want him to build and turn around. Now when he builds this way, he's going to climb up this wall right here. We're going to have him build again, and he's going to become a blocker. We don't want anybody else to come over the wall until he's finished, but... Okay, he's accomplishing what he has set out to do here. And we're going to have him go until he finishes his bridge, and then we're going to make him a blocker. This is going to allow us to make non-splat height for anyone else who comes over, but most importantly, our climber, digger, path forger guy, who destiny is awaiting him right at the top of the steps here. So he's going to climb up the wall there, and he's going to hit the blocker, and he's going to turn around. And now what's going to happen, excellent, he won't splat, he won't fall, he won't die. Instead, he's going to hit right there. And then we're going to let him go a little farther on this wall. We want to make a little step right there, because if we were to dig too much, if we were to just dig directly down both times, that would of course make a splat height. So we leave a little step, we dig through a little bit of steel, glitch it a little, but in the end, it's all good. So we're going to start building, I think as soon as we get out of the little exit way hatch here. We're going to start from about right here and come back when everybody's out safe. Alright, he's building up to the exit. Now we're going to have them build out. It should only take one bridge, I think, to get out of here. I think I spaced it out correctly. But we got to be extra careful, make sure this guy doesn't turn around. I don't think he will. He's hitting up. Okay, yeah, if he does turn around, though, we need to make him turn around, because he will climb over that little thing. Keep in mind, he is a climber, so if he turns around, you need to make him build into the steel block so that he doesn't go willy-nilly over the ledge. Because you can only kill one lemming here. You've only got 30 lemmings. Yeah, we've got that weird 96% thing going on again. So now they're going to walk to the exit. He turned them around, he did his job, and now everybody else makes it to the exit safely. Just a really ingeniously designed, well thought out level. Well put together. My biggest kudos to whoever put that level together. But we're going to have to rely on the F12 key once again to nuke and get out of here. And now we move on to level 3, which makes sense because we just finished level 2. Hugger! Well, I hope everybody put on their walking boots, because some lemmings are going to be doing a lot of walking. We're going to bash through a couple of these. We're also going to mine through one, because we only have 3 bashers here. We're going to save that one for over hereabouts. Yeah. And then the rest of the lemmings are going to be walking all the way down this way until they hit up on this little bump right here, which is going to keep them from dying. And then they're going to walk all the way back. And that walking journey is going to give the Path Forger enough time to do his work. First, we're going to do some artificial... No, we're not. We're going to go ahead and hit up right here. Okay, and then we're going to go through these. And now what we're going to do is we're going to mine right here. Okay. And he should hit and turn around. Okay, excellent. That worked out perfectly. Now we need to max out our release rate, as always. And then, it should only take one bridge to get across this pit, assuming we build in the right place. This guy is going to go on ahead, and he's going to forge the path for the rest. This is a very ingenious little time waster we've got going here. But we need to click over on our mini-map and keep track of this guy, because he's going to do a little bit of dolly dimpling right here. He's going to dig through this little post right here, so that nobody will go splat when the time comes. And he's going to dig down, and we're going to have him stop by mining. About, not quite, we're not going to let him go all the way through the bottom, but when he gets near the bottom, anyway, we are going to go ahead and let him do that. And he's going to chop through it right about now. Everybody is walking toward the obstacle at the end, and now we are going to bash through this wall right here. And that shouldn't take that long. It shouldn't take the length of time that it requires everybody to walk toward that way and go this way. But it looks like we have our splat height mitigated by this right here. So we'll be right back when we've successfully bashed through it. Alright, we are just about through the wall with plenty of time left for them to walk toward the end here. Now that's all we have to wait on. We got a few Lone Rangers at the front kind of walking ahead of the line before we got to put it up to 99, but it shouldn't take them 2 minutes to make this walk. It's a fairly long and straightforward walk, but there's no reason why it shouldn't take 2 minutes to make it. That provided the perfect diversion right there. This is a very sparsely backgrounded level, but I still like it all the same. I think it's very well done, very well laid out. And this is the first level in the Havoc rating where we had to save 100% of the lemmings. It's the first of 4 consecutive levels we're going to play where we save 100%, and it's the first of 9 altogether. So yeah, over half of the, not over half, almost half of the Havoc levels are going to require us to save every single lemming. And it's going to be quite a task for sure, and next up we're going to be saving 100% more. We're not going to do these 4 consecutive 100% Havoc levels all in one day. They're going to have to be split up over the course of 2 days, of course. They're going to have to be split up over the course of 2 days just because of the way that's just kind of the way the cards fell. But that's it for me trying to find stuff to talk about. Everybody's pouring to the exit now, and with over a minute left over, not bad. That would have been really harrowing. As well as it stands now, that kind of makes that like a wild level. But with 3 minutes, that's a Havoc level. Okay, we have a lot of tough stuff working against us in this level. The first is the fact that we have 20 lemmings coming out of this hatch, and we have to save them all. And we have 20 climbers. That's exactly the amount of lemmings that are on the level. So you can kind of deduce that they're going to be climbing over these ice poles. And also floating, because there are definitely some splat heights here. But you see, one of the throw-off points is that we only have 18 floaters, so some of them are not going to be able to survive these drops. They're going to have to take a different route that is safe for non-floaters, and that's going to be this top route up here. We're going to have to be very careful about how we go about that route, though. So we're going to have one guy go right at the outset. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to... I don't know how I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to keep the release rate at 1 for the time being, because we really have to be careful how we portion out our floaters here. And then, of course, one guy is going to build to the exit. That's going to be hunky-dory. But for now, we need to worry about how we're going to get this working. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to have one guy, we're going to have him climb. He is not going to be a floater because he's taking this top route because he's going up this wall right here. The other thing, we're going to have one guy go ahead and go first. And he is actually going to be a floater. We're going to go ahead and make him a floater. So, of course, we got to hit this guy's head and turn him around. Now we have 2 path forgers kind of working at the same time. This is going to be super handy and super important, and I hope I didn't build too low to let another guy go up there. I don't think he'll hit and fall down. We don't want to test that just yet, though. What we want to do is we want to wait and we want to get this guy bashing. And when he is about 3/4 of the way through his bashing, we are going to send another guy up the wall here. I think I started too soon. I think I started building too late right there. I'm a little scared about that. But we only have a couple minutes left. So we need to start sending folks over the wall now. So, let's see. Let's go ahead. Yeah, we need to start sending them over the left wall here because there's plenty of space for them here. Oh, whoops. I failed to make some of them climbers. So I hope that doesn't... I hope that doesn't bode poorly for our... Okay, good, okay. There's not anybody who's failing to be a floater here, I hope. Okay, he's good to go. We can make a guy go up this wall now. And of course, we're going to have to keep careful track of him. Did I really make him a climber? Ah, that's not what I wanted to do. But I have enough builders, I think, to weather it. So, I'm not really that worried. What I'm worried about is them... Okay, good. They can still get up through there. Oh, God. He's just a climber. Yeah, you see, this is the worrisome part. This is why this is a very Havoc-y level. And we're going to have to turn another guy around as well. Looks like... Okay, good. He's not... Okay, good. He's not to the bashing point yet. Woo! There is a lot to keep track of in this level, but I think the first thing we need to keep track of is this guy right here. We need him to turn around, and then we need to get... Okay, good. He needs to start digging right about here. And now we need to start assigning the other guys to climb and float. Okay. This might prove difficult because... Oh, we got a bunch of guys that have only got a little bit of time. And I made him... Shiza. This is not... Oh, golly. This is... Boy, they were not kidding when they called this level a race. Okay, let's try handling this a little differently. Let's put up the release rate, because 1 does not make me comfortable. We have 2 minutes to be doing... 3 minutes to be doing this, and they're coming out at a speed of 1. That's just not cutting the mustard for us. So we need to get one guy, of course, going up over the top. 60 should be good. That should keep a little distance between them. It might be a little tough to keep track of them going over the wall as floaters, assigning them that way, but I'm not incredibly worried about it at this point. Of course, we do need to make the bottom guy a floater because that second pole right there is very splatty distancey. Okay. And he's going to hit his head and turn around, and about the time he starts building over here, we're going to start worrying about making guys climbers now. Alright, there's plenty of distance between them. Let's only make... We got a couple guys. We're going to put some space between them. We're not going to... If they got two walking together, we're going to go ahead and leave them... Make only one a climber for the time being. That way it's much easier to assign our climbers and stuff. And then we have a little bit of time to see that we attend to this guy before we start making our next batch of floater climbers, athletes as it were. Now we can pretty much start going along. Now we're going to go ahead. These 5 guys are going to go over the wall. We need to be careful that we don't make one of those guys go over the wall. Okay, we only got one guy left. Now we're going to assign the rest of our floaters. Okay, we've run out of floaters. That's good. At this point, we need to let this guy, as soon as he turns the wall, he's going to climb. This gives this guy plenty of time to do his work. So now, okay, we're watching them. I think we're going to make this guy dig first, although we need to be watching this guy back here as well. So we need to figure out who's going to get to where they need to go first. I think we're going to have to make the guy who is climbing, I think we're going to have to make him hit his head first so that he turns around and, yeah, does his thing. Because he's still got plenty of time to make it to this little stump right here. They're taking the top route, the 2 non-floaters, so that they can go on to the exit and do their little thing. Okay. That gives him plenty of time to bash through here. Okay, now everybody should be making their way to the exit. Now it's just a matter of beating the clock. And this guy is going to drop down. He's going to float. Okay. Okay, good. No, I dug at the wrong stump. Friggity duck. I should have dug at this last stump, because now he's going to go kersplat, and he's going to... I did not think about this very carefully. Yeah, he should have definitely dug at the last stump, because now he's going to die. He died. Okay, so here we've got these 2 guys racing now. I think we're going to want to worry about our basher first now. Although the guy is climbing up the wall at a pretty rapid pace, we're definitely going to let this guy do some walking. I think we're going to have to worry about our builder first. Make sure he hits his head and turns around, because we got to save him as well. Now he's got a minute and a half to walk all the way to the exit. Now, who are we going to be saving? We're going to be digging probably right about the end here, so we're going to worry about our basher first. He's got guys coming up after him. Everybody is successfully floating at this point. Nobody is about to die. And now he is going to go ahead and dig here. And he's also going to be our builder, because he doesn't have very far to dig, so we need to build from about right here at the edge. We got a bunch of guys coming. Hopefully we did this on time. I am really worried about the time here. That's all I'm worried about. I'm worried about getting out of here today successfully with plenty of lemmings coming in at the right pace. Where are the kind of stragglers? Yikes, he's still got that wall to climb up while he's... Ooh, yikes. That is definitely giving me pause, but this guy is definitely going to make it at least. We got a guy straggling up. Ooh. He's got to climb over 4 different walls in 50 seconds. 45 now. Ooh, gosh. You better get climbing, buddy. Geez, this is taking a lot of time. Golly, I may have actually started planning way too early. I should have probably sent a bunch of guys ahead. Oh, I have a feeling I'm going to run out of time. There's just no way he's getting there in 28 seconds. This is really harrowing. Now this is Havoc. This is Havoc right here. That last level that had 4 minutes, that wasn't much to worry about. This one right here, yeah, there's no way he's making it. They got to climb over a big old wall. There's no way he's making it. I may have saved a little over half of them, but it looks like I sent too many over too late. Just barely not gonna do this. No, really, really not gonna do this. Yuck. Ugh. Okay, obviously this is going to take some expert release rate. Release rate control. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so first guy is going to start climbing up the wall. And then we are going to let the second guy fall, and then the rest we're going to send out at a very rapid clip. I'm thinking about, let's see, I'm thinking about 85 should do it. Okay, and then we're gonna make him right after he hits the wall, he's gonna turn around. Okay, here we go, here we go. This is where things are gonna start getting interesting. We gotta really watch our speed here. And I'm going to be doing some pretty crazy pausing. Gotta make sure we watch this guy up here. Alright. Okay, he's a climber. We can afford to make one more guy a climber before we have him start building. This is gonna take some expert pausation here. Alright, and now, which one's a climber and which one's a walker? Let's make sure we switch back to climbers then. Okay, here we go. Here's where we start making athletes out of the whole bunch. Okay, and we're going to make them, as soon as they go up to the top of the pole there, we're going to make them athletes. And he, of course, is still a climber. He needs to get all the edge he can there. Okay, now everybody's going to start walking up. And we've got one climber left. He needs to be that guy who's straggling back there. Now we're going to be careful again about how we start assigning things, because we got to be careful of the guy up there. Okay. Alright. I think we need to get him bashing right now. Okay, yes, yes, yes. Here we go. Alright, he's going to mill around a little bit before we get everybody else going. But now everybody else is headed toward the exit in a timely fashion. And I think about the time we want to get this guy going, he's about halfway through his bash. So we want to go now. Yeah, good. We made him a climber. So now we need to figure out who to concentrate on first here. I think it's going to be... I'm going to watch my mini-map very closely, but I think it's going to be the climber that we want to concentrate on first. We want to get him going, turn around before we focus. Yeah, he's already coming up the way, and he is doing quite a good job of it, may I say. Now, person we need to worry about next. This guy still has a ways to walk, so we are going to go ahead and get him going. Alright, yeah, we got tons of guys coming in a line right here. This is going to work out, I think, hopefully perfectly, because they've got only a few walls to climb over here. Okay, who's going to make it to where they need to be first? I think it's the basher. Okay, yes it is. And then, okay, yeah, and then he digs where he needs to dig. Excellent, excellent. This is really cutting it close, but everybody is almost halfway to the exit with 1:15 left. The only thing we need to worry about is climbing walls. And we have one builder left over after the whole affair. So now let's see if we did this right. I think we want to go from about right here is going to get us to the exit. Everybody is coming over the wall. They've got a minute with only 3 walls to climb over. Yeah, I think we've done this one. That was a really hard one. That was worthy of the Havoc title. Excellent, excellent. Everybody walks over that little hump there. They've only got 50 seconds. That's still not making me comfortable. I hope everybody makes it over in time. The floating is what's slowing them down. That's the worst part. Looks like Mr. Walker guy already made it up top. Oh, God. You can make it, little guys. You just have to learn how to climb faster. You need to start scrabbling over the walls with your claws or something. You're worrying me here. You're killing me, Smalls. Don't tell me they're not going to do this. You got 22 seconds to make it all that little way. You better be able to do it. 18, 17, it's counting down here, but I think we're going to be able to say goodbye today now that I look at it. Wow, yeah. Whew. Ooh, I'm having a heart attack. I need to go sit down or something. I need to go fan myself. I got a case of the vapors.